Hi everyone, in today's video, we are diving into one of the hottest area right now, the River Valley Zyon Road area.
I will walk you through what's happening in the neighborhood and then we'll zoom into the latest launch, Zyon Grand. We'll unpack everything from project highlights to price trends and floor plan analysis and insights you won't want to miss.
By the end of the video, you will know that whether this project, Zyon Grand, is the right one for you.
Let's get started. Okay, we have 5 plots of land here near the Great Wall and the Havelock MRT. So the two of them, River Green and Promenade Peak, have already launched. Then we have Zyon Grand that is coming up, preview tentatively on the 17th October. And then we have River Valley Green Parcel B, likely launching next year. And then River Valley Green Parcel C, yet to be bidded. At first glance, it does look like it's going to be a tough competition around here. But let's break it down. So this is the breakdown of the units available in each of the projects. So in total, there is a total of 2771 units. But if we take away the unit that is sold in River Green and Promenade Peak, we are left with around 1958 units. Because of this, I believe the developer don't really have a strong interest to actually trigger this Parcel C over here. So this is not going to add extra pressure to the market. So you can see that the TOP they are actually quite spread out and not all together at the same time. So this will help to regulate the supply as well. One important part that I want to mention is actually this Parcel B over here. They actually went up for tender back in February this year and it actually still attracted 5 bids. So this shows that developer actually is still confident in the area despite knowing about the upcoming supply. So will there be an oversupply? Looking at the numbers and timeline, it doesn't really look that way. The launches are spread out and demand should stay healthy since the launches are near MRT, near amenities, and good school, and also with prices a little easier to digest. Is Zyon Grand worth looking into then? Let Alvin tell you more.
Okay, first of all, let's take a look at Zyon Grand, the location itself. It's actually an integrated development that has direct access to Havelock MRT station under the Thomson East Coast Line. It's also 2 stops away to Orchard MRT station, which is an interchange, and also 3 stops away to Shenton Way, Raffles Place. We are also within walking distance to Great World City. It will take you around maybe about 3 to 4 minutes or maximum about 5 minutes. But if you are lazy to walk, you can also take the MRT, which is only 1 stop away. We are also near to this River Valley Primary School, which is a very popular school. In terms of food options, we are actually walking distance to 4 food centers nearby, including the popular Zyon Riverside Food Centre. And we are only 5 minutes stroll to Alexandra Park and also the Singapore River itself. So in this area itself, other than the prime location, I feel that it actually has got high livability, whereby we can really eat, live and play over here. This project is also built by 2 renowned developers, which is a joint venture between CDL and Mitsui Fudosan. CDL is actually a familiar name to many of us. They have built many iconic condo projects in Singapore, including the latest launches. We have Norwood Grand, Tembusu Grand, Canning Hill Pierce. And for Mitsui Fudosan, it's actually one of the biggest developers in Japan, and they also have a number of hotel businesses. Let's take a look at the project details. Over here, we actually have 2 blocks of 62-story residential development, and we have 1 tower of 36-story service apartment. Bear in mind that the recent launches like River Green and Promenade Peak, they only have 1 block. So in terms of the land size, we actually have a much bigger land size compared to the 2 of them, which I will touch on later. So the developer will be able to build more facilities in the landscape over there. And in terms of location, bear in mind that we are actually in front of Promenade Peak, which has 63 stories. So basically, if you get the south units, we actually have very nice view overlooking to Sentosa area. This will be the north view facing at level 40. You will be able to see all the way to Ion Orchard. And for the south view, you are able to see all the way to Sentosa and the CBD area. Of course, this is for the higher floor units. So other than that, we also have got restaurants, supermarket, and also childcare center within the development itself. So imagine your nearby neighbors, nearby condo residents, they will have to go to Great World City for their food options and for their retail options and also childcare. But for Zyon Grand residents, you will have it all, everything within your own development itself. And also the car park, we are almost 1:1, despite being very close to the MRT station itself. Let's take a look at the unit mix. Basically for Zyon Grand, we actually have 42% which are 1-bedder and 2-bedder. This is in contrast to River Green, which has got 74%, and Promenade Peak, which has got 67% of 1 and 2-bedder. So I feel that the buyers for Zyon Grand itself will be more for own stay, because usually for 3-bedder and above, usually people will buy for own stay. 1 and 2-bedder more for like investment, rent out to tenants. So in that case, you will most likely have fewer tenants, and the environment, I would say that it will be tidier and also more settled. And usually the residents will tend to stay for a longer period of time. So you will see more familiar faces here and there. And I believe the buyers of Zyon Grand itself love this area, love the vibes, the connectivity, and also the convenience in this area. Let's take a look at the site plan. So regarding the land size, River Grand is actually 100,032 square feet, whereas for Promenade Peak is 99,918 square feet roughly. But for Zyon Grand is 164,450 square feet. So this actually means that the land is actually much larger than the two of them. So the developers will have more room to play around with the facilities and also to provide a more spacious, more beautiful landscape, especially on the facilities floor itself, which is on level 1. The developer has actually built a tennis court, which is pretty rare in today's development. It can also be used as a pickleball court. It actually helps to buffer away a distance from Kim Seng Road so that you have more of a setback from this block 3 over here. Other than that, in terms of amenities, in B1 we actually have restaurants, supermarket, and we have direct access to Havelock MRT station and childcare center. The car park will be from B1 to B3 itself. This will be the block-to-block distance and also the distance to the nearby condo. As you can see, some of them actually will be more than 100 meters and some will be more than 200 meters. Bear in mind that this will be Promenade Peak itself, and this will stand between Great World City and yourself. Below here will be the south-facing unit towards Sentosa, and here will be the north-facing units. Now let's touch on the price analysis. In terms of River Green, you will notice that the units there are generally smaller. We have 2-bed from 500 square feet, and the biggest 2+ study is less than 600 square feet. For 3-bedder, we can see from here. So in terms of River Green itself, right, it's actually basically located in CCR region in District 9. So the developer, they actually built more of a quantum play. That means they give a smaller unit size, but they have a higher PSF itself. For Promenade Peak itself, you can see the units are generally larger. 600 over square feet to 700 over square feet for their 2-bedder, and for 3-bedder, more than 1,000 square feet, all the way up to almost 1,200 square feet. So in terms of PSF, they have a lower per square foot, but their quantum will actually be higher because of the bigger size itself. But if you were to look at Zyon Grand, we are actually somewhere in between River Green and Promenade Peak. Similarly for the 3-bedder itself. So the question is, how will Zyon Grand developer actually price their units? Now let's look at the land cost and the break-even price. If we look at the land cost itself, right, River Green actually purchased at 1,325 per square foot per plot ratio, whereas for Promenade Peak, 1,304, slightly lower. And if you look at Zyon Grand, it's only at 1,202, which is lower than the other two. For break-even, River Green at 2,258 per square foot, and Promenade Peak 3,229, and for us, it's only around 2,091 per square foot. So that means logically we will actually sell the cheapest among the 3 of them, right? But do bear in mind that when developer buy the land at a lower price, doesn't necessarily that they will have to sell you cheap. In fact, they may sell you a little bit higher. Okay, why is this so? In Zyon Grand itself, we actually have 373 units of service apartment in this project itself. So the developer can not only build the residential units, they also have to build the service apartment, which they are not able to sell immediately and convert into cash profit for them. So that's why we need a very strong developer to actually buy this piece of land. And that is also why the land bid, there's only one sole bidder, which is our strong player, CDL and Mitsui Fudosan. And so happened that both of them actually has hotel businesses. please note that all this price is actually based on estimation because the actual price we will only know during the launch day itself. So for Zyon Grand, it's actually from level 2 all the way to level 62. So let's just base on around 0.5% increment per floor jump. So we will start from around 2750 per square foot estimate for a 2-bed 2-bath 674 square feet. And for a low floor unit, it will cost you around 1.776 million. For a mid-floor, we estimate around 3,000 per square foot, and it will cost you about 1.936 million for a middle floor unit 2-bed 2-bath, which is around level 30 plus minus. And for the highest floor, around 3,005 to 3,006 per square foot, which is actually what River Green and Promenade Peak has transacted for their highest PSF, times 646 similar size, it will cost you about 2.273 million for a high floor unit 2-bed 2-bath, which is around level 60 plus minus. For a 3-bed compact, again based on estimation, which is based on our 2750, 2298 and 3520 PSF, it will cost you somewhere from 2.249 million all the way to 2.879 million for a 3-bed compact size in Zyon Grand itself. You will see the huge difference in 4-bed. Because for Promenade Peak, right, the 4-bedroom, they actually price it at a premium. In a way, they only start from level 44 all the way to level 63. But for Zyon Grand itself, we actually start from level 2 all the way to level 62. So it gives you the opportunity to buy a similar size at a lower floor and of course with a much lower PSF. So for example, if you were to buy a 4-bed at level 44, currently still available at PP itself, a size of 1421 square feet, it will cost you 3150, which is about 4.476 million. Whereas for Zyon Grand, if you were to buy a similar unit, 1421 square feet and level 2, it will cost you about 3.9 million. So you have a total savings of more than 500,000. So it actually gives you an opportunity to buy a similar 4-bedroom in Zyon Grand itself in the same location at a lower floor, and you will save about 500,000 or even more. Next, we actually look at the rental prices. Basically, we look at around this area, Well Hill, Rivier, and also Martin Modern. All of them are actually pretty new condo. And if we look at the one-bedder, Well Hill actually transacted 4217 for their 1-bed rental. Rivier and Martin Modern, they don't have 1-bedder. So I take an average which is about 4,700 to 4,008 for a 1-bedder. And for Zyon Grand itself, 1-bedder is 474 square feet times 2,008 per square foot. Your rental yield actually works out to be about 4.3%. So basically anything that has got about 4% or above 4%, we will feel that it's actually a very good rental yield. Similarly, for a 2-bedder in this area, average of Well, Rivier, and Martin Modern is about 6,300 to 6,004 per month. So if we were to use a 646 square feet times 2,008 per square foot, it will cost you about 1.808 million. Similarly, your rental yield will be above 4%, around 4.2%. And similarly, for a 3-bed compact, Well Hill about 8,005, Rivier 10,000, Martin Modern 9,003. Average about 9,003 to 9,004 for a 3-bedder rental in that area itself. Because for River Valley, generally they have one of the best rental yield. And if you were to purchase around 2,008 per square foot for maybe a slightly lower floor unit, it will cost you about 2.29 million. And your rental yield can actually goes above 4% to go to even above 4.5%, close to 5%, which is actually a very good rental yield for investors. So this is a price transaction itself for Promenade Peak and River Green. As we can see from here, Promenade Peak average is 2,009 plus PSF, all the way highest 3,005 PSF. And for River Green, average around 3,001 PSF, all the way to above 3,006 PSF. So what do you think will be the price for Zyon Grand? Please comment in the box below. So now I will pass on back to Hazel for the floor plan analysis.
Okay, now I'll go into the floor plan analysis. I'll go straight into the 2-bedroom as the 1+ study, there's only one layout. So for the 2-bedrooms unit, there are actually 3 options. The first one, the 2-bed 1-bath, and then the 2-bed 2-bath for the 646 square feet, which is the 2-bedroom premium. and the 721 square feet, which is show flat unit and is the 2 plus study unit. So all 3 bedroom types actually have the same bedroom size. Or your master will be able to fit king size, and then your common will be able to fit queen size. So no matter which layout that you pick, all the bedroom size are the same. And then one interesting point is the 538 square feet actually does not come with a balcony. So this is very good for someone who want to fully maximize their livable space. And then one thing that's common among all 3 layouts is that they all come with open concept kitchen. So this might not be so favorable for families who cook frequently. So as a whole, if I compare the 3, I would favor more towards the 2 plus study layout. First thing, because it has a tuck-away kitchen at this side, a tuck-away kitchen, and then it has an efficient dumbbell layout. And then there's an extra study space which could be used as a work from home area or even like a storeroom. I wouldn't really use the study for a guest room because it doesn't come with window, so it could feel a bit claustrophobic. Okay, let's move on to the 3 bedroom. The 3 bedroom, I actually split into the 3 bedroom and 3 bedroom plus study. For the 3 bedroom, if you look at it, right, they are both the very traditional layout where the bedroom are all tucked to one side, not the dumbbell layout where you have bedrooms on both sides of the unit. And then the main difference for these two, 818 and 861, is actually one come with an open concept kitchen, and then the other one is an enclosed kitchen. Then both feature a proper dining area, which you can fit a 6-seater. And then one thing that is different for the 861 square feet is you actually have more privacy, as in the entrance, when you look in, it doesn't look directly into the living spaces. So if we compare these 2 layouts, since the square feet difference is not much, hence the price I believe would not be very far apart as well. I believe that the 861 square feet will be the more popular choice among the buyers. Okay, let's move on to the 3 plus study layout. If you look at both the floor plan, they are actually a mirror image of each other. The only difference is the length of the living to the dining area. So you can see that 1055 square feet one is 5.6 meter length, and then the 1076 square feet is actually 6 meter length. What I really like about these 2 layouts is that the study is actually placed just beside the living area, meaning you have the option to actually open up the living to be like a landscape layout. So this is quite rare because landscape layout usually you only find it in 4 bedroom and above. So I think it's quite nice to actually have it for a 3 bedroom. It will make the entire feel more luxurious, and this is especially appropriate for a prime market location that we are in. Interestingly, none of these 2 layouts actually come with a yard. Instead, there is a WC in the kitchen, which I find a bit redundant. And then for the 3 plus study, the master bedroom is actually bigger than the 2 smaller 3 bedroom size we were talking about just now, and common room remains about the same. Considering the small size difference between these 2 layouts, I would think that the 1076 square feet one will stand out more, especially since it's also the show flat unit type. Finally, let's look at the 4 bedroom layout. So we have 3 different layouts for this. First, we have the 4 bedroom premium, 1421 square feet. Then we have the 4 bedroom supreme, which is also the show flat unit at 1518 square feet. And then the largest one will be 1615 square feet, which also come with a study. So for 4 bedroom onwards, all the new units will come with a private lift. So if I were to summarize what the 4 bedroom is like, right, it actually is fully equipped for family living. They feature a wet and dry kitchen, a proper yard and utility room, a junior master, walk-in wardrobe for the master, and a 5.5 meter wide frontage, the living area. Here is 5 to 5, to maximize the view towards the south. For the 2 largest unit, which is the 1518 and 1615, right? These 2, the difference between the previous 4 bedroom premium is that the master bath actually comes with a long bath and also a double sink area to make it even more luxurious. So if you notice, the bedroom, right, for the bigger type master bedroom is actually exceptionally spacious. If you look from the floor plan, the whole master bedroom is big enough to cater for a king-size bed, and at the side, you can see there is a space allocated for maybe a dresser or even a study area inside the master bedroom itself. So it's the same for 1518 square feet, you have that, and the same thing you have for the 1615 square feet, this dresser or study area space. So if I look at the tree layout for the 4-bedroom, I feel that even the smallest 1421 square feet actually packs quite a lot of features already. So whether buyer will opt for which one, I think it will depend more on the budget instead of the size. In summary, we feel that Zyon Grand stands out as a unique blend between River Green and Promenade Peak. It offers a smart mix of compact sizes to keep the prices more accessible, while also providing spacious 3 bedrooms and above types to actually cater to families looking for more comfort and livability.
What truly set Grand Zyon apart is its integrated concept, directly connected to Havelock MRT with retail, childcare and service apartment. This creates a self-contained ecosystem that positions that development as a potential landmark in the precinct.
We expect healthy demand, not only from new buyers, but also from the spillover from those who miss out on River Green and Promenade Peak. The key factor will be on the developer's pricing strategy. With the advantage of securing the lowest land bid among the recent tenders and efficient distribution of the units among the 2 blocks of 62-storey, Zyon Grand has the flexibility to price competitively while still commanding a premium for its unit offering.
The preview is tentatively set on 17 October and we are excited to show you firsthand.
We hope this video has been useful. If you'd like to discuss further, feel free to reach out. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.
See you.
Bye.